What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Saturday, December 16th, 2023, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Early this morning, the Houthi rebels in Yemen launched a barrage of drones towards Israel, and apparently, these drones were targeting the city of Eilat in southern Israel. And U.S. Central Command put out this tweet at 9:49 a.m. this morning saying that they shot down 14 drones with the USS Carney. And Egyptian media is reporting that one of the drones crashed in Egyptian territorial waters. So the Yemen military is continuing to attack Israel and different ships that are passing through the Red Sea. The U.S. said they're going to announce details of the international task force to keep the Red Sea open for shipping in the coming days. Another U.S. military base was attacked last night in the Al Omar oil field in eastern Syria. Apparently, the base is now on fire after a drone or missile strike. And we now have another Western shipping company announcing that they're going to stop using the Red Sea to move goods. The French shipping company CMA CGM announced the cessation of the transit of all container shipments from the Red Sea. This comes after American company Maersk and German company Hapag-Lloyd ended their shipping through the Red Sea after coming under attack by Yemen forces. So this is crazy, guys. Okay, the Yemeni military, the Houthis, they're out of control, and the U.S. military is not doing anything to stop them. They're basically just intercepting these drones, intercepting the missiles, which is great, but that's not going to solve the problem. Okay, a senior member of the Houthi organization said, "We will not abandon the Palestinian cause regardless of American threats. The actions against Israel will continue. Any hostile move against Yemen will have serious consequences." Wow, strong words there. And we do know that the U.S. will announce details of their international task force that's going to be going to the Red Sea in the coming days. And I'm just wondering if this international task force is going to attack Yemen directly, and they're going to try to basically destroy the Houthi rebels to a certain extent. And Iran says it has executed a person accused of spying for the Israeli intelligence service Mossad. And I just want to show you guys this map here of some of the shipping routes. And you can see that the shipping route that goes through the Red Sea cuts off like 3,000 nautical miles for ships that are coming from Europe. Otherwise, they have to go all the way around Africa. So, keeping the Red Sea open for shipping is critical for Western commerce. And earlier this morning, we had a U.S. airborne command post plane operating along the border with Syria. And we also had a U.S. sub hunter plane operating off the coast of Lebanon. And the White House said this morning that any nuclear attack launched by North Korea on America or its allies will lead to the end of the Kim Jong-un regime. And Taiwan Plus News is reporting that a collaborative nuclear defense strategy between the U.S. and South Korea is expected to be released in mid-2024 to deter threats from North Korea. And China crossed into Taiwan's airspace again yesterday and this morning. So, according to the Taiwan Ministry of Defense, 27 Chinese aircraft and 9 Chinese vessels were detected near Taiwan late last night and into this morning. And German security expert Nico Lang said that the Ukrainian armed forces are preparing another counteroffensive in 2024. According to the expert, the starting point for the Ukrainians might be the Kherson Oblast. In an article in Die Welt, he said that the list of necessary weapons that the Ukrainian authorities handed over to the United States says a lot about Kiev's plans. He said it included Black Hawks, Apache helicopters, F 16s, F 18s, missile systems, Abrams tanks, drones, and artillery ammunition. And Russian anti-air units destroyed 26 Ukrainian drones over the Crimean Peninsula on Friday, the Russian Defense Ministry said on Telegram. Separately, the Russian-installed governor of the part of the southern Kherson region held by Moscow, Vladimir Saldo, reported on Telegram that Russian anti-air units had downed at least 15 aerial targets near the town of Henichesk, and the defense ministry said Russian forces shot down 6 Ukrainian drones in the border region of Kursk. So that's like over 45 drones that Ukraine launched towards Russia in various parts of Russia and occupied Ukraine. Ukraine has agreed to dozens of contracts for joint production or technology exchanges with Western partners, Kyiv said on Friday, as it strives to reduce its dependence on military supplies from the West and to boost domestic output. We have seen dozens of new contracts between companies on joint production or technology exchange, Defense Minister Rustem Umerov said in a Facebook post. And a missile defense system for NATO went online yesterday in northern Poland. It can intercept ICBMs coming from Russia. This is the Aegis Ashore missile defense system, and it's based in Redzikowo, Poland. It uses the SM-3 missile interceptor, which was originally designed for the Aegis warships, and it's going to be handed over to NATO in mid-2024. And Polish truckers on Friday said they expected to resume a month-long blockade at the largest freight crossing point with Ukraine as their Slovak counterparts announced the end of their protest. Truckers from both countries are demanding the reintroduction of permits to enter the EU for their Ukrainian competitors, which the 27-nation bloc had waived after Russia invaded Ukraine. NATO's newest member, Finland, has announced it will sign a bilateral defense cooperation next week with the United States. The deal will allow Washington to station troops and store weapons inside the Nordic country. So they're going to be allowed to station troops and store weapons, which would allow U.S. soldiers to access 15 military areas and facilities across Finland, and they range from a key southern naval base and inland air bases to a vast remote army training area in the Lapland in the Arctic North. American troops are allowed a permanent presence and regular exercises in Finland, but there are no plans to establish permanent U.S. military bases in Finland, officials said. The safety system at the temporarily occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant continues to degrade. The personnel at the plant are incompetent. This was stated by acting head of the Ukrainian State Nuclear Regulatory Inspectorate, Oleg Korokov. Among the risks we note is incompetent personnel managing the nuclear facility. Illegal management gives orders, and the personnel of the control room does not have appropriate qualifications and experience to carry out operational management of nuclear facilities, Korokov emphasized. The level of militarization of the ZNPP is increasing. The technological premises continue to be used as a shelter for weapons, explosives, and military equipment, Korokov said. He noted that the Russians are restricting the access of the IAEA representatives to some areas of the occupied power plant. There is evidence that the Russians are launching multiple launch rocket systems and artillery on the territories adjacent to the ZNPP. In addition, the power plant still receives electricity from only one power line. The second line, the backup line, cannot be restored. And in occupied Mariupol, Ukrainian partisans blew up the car of a Russian military officer of the Caucasian units. The man is to be hospitalized and his condition is unknown. So, some kind of high ranking Russian officer from the Caucasus region, maybe a Chechen or someone else. Want to just show you guys some interesting flight paths. We had an aerial refueler flying over the mouth of the Chesapeake Bay last night, but there were no other planes around it, which is very interesting. And that tells me that there were other planes flying that had their transponder off. And this plane was on standby to refuel them if necessary. And we had a U.S. Air Force VIP plane fly from St. Louis to Ramstein Air Base, which is very, very interesting. And tonight into tomorrow, there's going to be a geomagnetic storm. It could be a strong one. Right now, officially, the NOAA has this as a G2 class geomagnetic storm, which is a moderate geomagnetic storm, but it could get upgraded to a G3 class geomagnetic storm. So later on tonight, you should go outside and try to see the auroras. You're going to want to find an area that's high up and has no light pollution. You don't want to be surrounded by hills. You want to be able to see the horizon in all directions, especially the northern direction. And you want to make sure you don't have light pollution. And you might see an aurora even if you live in places like New York, Pennsylvania, Oregon, Iowa, Nebraska, any place at least there or north, you should be able to see something tonight if you have a clear sky. So that's pretty much it for this one, guys. I'll be back later with another update. I might go live, I'm not sure. So until next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, they have brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you have to use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. And this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life, and it's all contained within 6 rugged watertight buckets, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. Free shipping included, 25% off their normal price. Use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com to get the discount. They also have a 2-week emergency food supply, which is excellent for outdoorsmen or people who go vehicle camping. They also have a general store. If you click the My Patriot Supply logo at the top of the page when you get to preparewithNYPrepper.com, it'll take you to their general store where they have everything you can imagine, from potassium iodide to water filters, solar generators, solar panels, survival seeds, fire starters, anything you can imagine, it's all there. So use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month freeze-dried food supply. And the link is in the description below this video.